We were saddened this spring by the death of Professor Emeritus John McCoy, who began teaching in the law school in 1957 and retired in 1993, but who remained a presence in these halls until only weeks before his death. John taught civil procedure to generations of students and also taught and wrote perceptively about bankruptcy. I'm told that some of his early students called him the Cobra because of the suddenness with which his questions could strike and paralyze an unwitting 1L. Our community's thoughts are with his wife, Beverly, who remains here in Charlottesville. We will add 3 new professors next year. One actually is not new. Josh Fishman served on our faculty from 2008 to 2012 before departing for Northwestern for personal reasons. We're delighted that Josh will rejoin us next year. He holds a PhD in economics as well as a JD and works in the areas of law and economics, empirical methods, judicial decision-making, and criminal sentencing. We will also be joined by 2 entry-level professors, Aditya Bhalla and Molly Brady. Bhalla is a graduate of Yale College and the University of Chicago Law School and a former law clerk for Judge Jeffrey Sutton and the late Justice Antonin Scalia. He is currently a lawyer in the National Security Division of the Justice Department. His primary interests are administrative law, civil procedure, and federal courts. Molly Brady is a graduate of Harvard College and Yale Law School, where she won an astonishing number of prizes for her academic writings. She will shortly become one of the first graduates of Yale Law School's new PhD program in law. Her primary interests are property and land use law. We will also, of course, have a new dean next year. On July 1, my colleague Risa Gould will become the law school's 12th dean. Risa is here today, and I hope all of you have a chance to meet her. Risa joined our faculty in 2003 after completing her PhD in history from Princeton. She is also a graduate of Harvard College and Yale Law School and a former law clerk for Judge Guido Calabresi on the Second Circuit and Justice Stephen Breyer. Risa is a leading legal historian of the civil rights movement. Her first book, The Lost Promise of Civil Rights, won several awards and acclaim both in law schools and academic history departments. Her most recent book, Vagrant Nation, was published this spring and promises to be equally influential. She is also a gifted classroom teacher who won a university-wide teaching award. That same teaching award went this year to my colleague Toby Heightens, a 2000 graduate of the law school who joined our faculty in 2006, but took a 3-year leave from 2008 to 10 to work in the office of the Solicitor General, arguing 6 cases before the Supreme Court. Toby is also the coach of the university's undergraduate mock trial team, which just took the runner-up position in the national mock trial competition. 3 of our graduates will clerk for the Supreme Court during the 2016 court term. I take great satisfaction from the fact that during the 8 years of my deanship, 24 of our graduates were selected to clerk for the court. That average of 3 a year puts us behind only Harvard, Yale, and Stanford. 16% of the graduates of the class of 2015 are currently clerking for federal judges. That percentage also trails only Harvard, Yale, and Stanford, and marks our 3rd straight year in the top 5 for federal clerkships.